Build Income Confidence, the mom's step-by-step blueprint. The coffee had gone cold again, another morning balancing the noise of the house and the quiet question she kept avoiding. Can I really build something of my own? She wasn't chasing millions, just freedom, the kind that fits between nap times and school pickups, the kind that doesn't require permission or explanations. For months, she'd scrolled past success stories that felt like fiction, women building empires from their phones while their kids napped. It all seemed too polished, too far away, but something was shifting inside her. Not ambition in the traditional sense, more like hunger, the kind you feel when you've been quiet for too long. She wanted to contribute again, not just to the household budget, but to her own sense of purpose. Part of her still felt guilty for wanting more, as if ambition had to disappear when motherhood began, as if dreaming small was the price of being present. But the idea didn't come from a business book. It came from the mess on her kitchen table, a half-finished planner, a list of things she was good at, skills she'd forgotten she had. She'd spent years helping friends pick gifts, organize events, solve problems they didn't even know they had. What if that wasn't just friendship? What if it was insight? She opened her laptop during the morning quiet, before the house woke up. No plan, no strategy, just curiosity. She typed, "How do stay-at-home moms start businesses?" The results were overwhelming: courses, coaches, affiliate programs, dropshipping guides. Everything required upfront investment or technical knowledge she didn't have. She closed the laptop. Maybe success just wasn't meant for someone like her. But that night, scrolling through her phone while her daughter slept on her chest, she saw something different. A woman sharing her story. Not a highlight reel, but the messy middle. The failed launches, the awkward first videos. The revenue that came in $20 at a time. It wasn't inspiring because it was perfect. It was inspiring because it was possible. She almost gave up until one message changed everything. A friend asked if she could help design a birthday invitation. Nothing fancy, just something personal. She said yes, spent an hour on Canva, and sent it over. The response? "This is beautiful. Can I pay you?" She hadn't thought about charging, but that small exchange planted something, proof that value didn't require a business degree. It required attention, care, skill she already had. What would you have done in her place? She started small, so small it barely felt like starting. She mentioned on social media that she could help with digital designs, invitations, simple graphics, things people needed but didn't want to learn themselves. 3 people messaged her that week. She charged $15 each, $45 total. It wasn't rent money, but it was hers, earned in the margins of her day without leaving the house or hiring childcare. For the first time in years, she felt like more than a caregiver. She felt like a creator. But doubt crept in the way it always does. Who was she to call this a business? She didn't have a website. She didn't have a logo or a business plan. She was just someone making things on her laptop between laundry loads. Then came the doubt, the kind that whispers louder than failure. You're not a real entrepreneur. You're just playing. But she kept going, not because she believed in herself yet, but because stopping felt worse. She smiled, not because it was easy, but because it was finally hers. Over the next month, she refined her process. She learned what people actually needed versus what they said they wanted. She discovered that speed mattered more than perfection, that most clients just wanted someone reliable who understood the brief. She raised her prices to $25. Then $30-$5, not because she got greedy, because she got confident. According to recent studies, small home-based businesses led by women are growing 40% faster than other segments. Proof that clarity often beats capital. She wasn't an outlier. She was part of a movement. Mothers reclaiming their economic agency, one small service at a time, but the real shift wasn't financial. It was identity. She started introducing herself differently at playgroups and school events, not as just a stay-at-home mom, as someone building something. Even when the income was still modest, the mindset had transformed. She wasn't waiting for permission anymore. She was creating her own validation. Sometimes growth doesn't look like progress. It looks like staying. Staying consistent when no one's watching, staying curious when results are slow, staying committed to the version of yourself you're becoming. She expanded her offerings, not randomly, but strategically. She noticed clients asking for matching social media templates after ordering invitations. So she bundled them together, charged more, delivered more value. She joined a few online communities for mom entrepreneurs, not to network aggressively, but to learn. She absorbed pricing strategies, productivity hacks, ways to batch work, so she wasn't constantly context switching between mom mode and business mode. One woman shared how she used voice memos to brainstorm during walks with her stroller. Another explained how she automated invoicing so she didn't have to chase payments manually. These weren't revolutionary tactics, but they were practical, and practicality, she realized, was the real currency of sustainable income. Her workspace was still her kitchen counter, but it no longer felt like chaos. It felt like possibility. She set boundaries she'd never had before: work hours during nap time and after bedtime. No checking messages during meals. Her kids didn't need a perfect mom. They needed a present one. And presence, she learned, wasn't about sacrificing ambition. It was about integrating it intentionally. What helped her most wasn't just the tools she discovered. It was realizing she didn't need permission to start small. She tested different platforms before finding what truly worked. Canva became her design studio. PayPal became her cash register. Instagram became her portfolio. This isn't a promotion, just the truth about what made her path a little lighter. She didn't need a fancy website or expensive software at first. She needed clarity, consistency, and courage to begin imperfectly. If you're exploring similar tools, I'll leave some resources below that helped me simplify the process. By month 6, she was earning enough to cover groceries. By month 9, it was groceries and utilities, not life-changing money, but life-changing money. Money that proved she could contribute without compromising her values or her time with her children. She reinvested some of it, bought a better microphone for client calls, upgraded her Canva subscription, took a short course on branding, not because she needed to, because she wanted to, because investing in herself felt like honoring the woman she was becoming. But the journey wasn't linear. There were weeks when clients disappeared, when her daughter got sick and work stopped completely, when she questioned whether she should just get a traditional job and stop pretending this was real. Those weeks taught her resilience wasn't about never doubting. It was about doubting and continuing anyway. She learned to celebrate micro-wins: a 5-star review, a repeat client, a morning when she finished her to-do list before lunch. These weren't Instagram moments, but they were the foundation of something sustainable. One afternoon, her 6-year-old asked what she was working on. She explained she was helping someone make their event more special. Her daughter said, "So you're like a happiness helper." She paused. That was exactly what she was. Not a designer, not an entrepreneur in the traditional sense, a happiness helper who got paid for her care and attention. That reframe changed everything. She stopped comparing herself to full-time business owners with teams and 6-figure launches. She started appreciating the unique value of being a mom who also builds someone who understands urgency, empathy, and getting things done in 20-minute increments. Her clients weren't hiring a corporation, they were hiring her. Her perspective, her availability, her human touch. And that was enough. More than enough. By the end of her first year, she'd earned just over $8,000. Not a salary, but not nothing either. Enough to prove the concept. Enough to feel proud. Enough to know this wasn't luck. It was skill, meeting opportunity. She still didn't have a website. She still worked in pajamas most mornings. She still doubted herself regularly. But she also had something she didn't have before: proof. Proof that her time had value, that her skills translated to income, that starting small didn't mean staying small. What would you do with that kind of proof? She started thinking bigger, not in scale, but in intention. What if she taught other moms her process? What if she turned her scattered notes into a simple guide? Not a course, not a coaching program, just a clear, honest blueprint for women like her who wanted to start but didn't know how. She wrote it in pieces during nap times. Late at night, on her phone in the carpool line. It wasn't polished. It wasn't perfect. But it was real, and that made it valuable. She shared it for free at first, just to see if it resonated. The messages came quickly. "This is exactly what I needed. I've been stuck for months, and this gave me permission to begin. Thank you for making this feel possible." She realized she'd built something more valuable than income. She'd built confidence, hers and theirs. The blueprint wasn't just about tactics. It was about identity. Transformation from "I'm just a mom" to "I'm a mom who also builds that shift." She knew was worth more than any revenue milestone. When she poured her coffee the next morning, it was still hot, because this time she wasn't rushing. She was building slowly, building sustainably. She thought about the woman she was a year ago, the one who wondered if she was capable, if it was too late. If she'd missed her window, she wished she could tell her. The window never closes. It just looks different than you expected. This isn't financial advice. It's one woman's journey from doubt to action, from cold coffee to warm possibility. Your path won't look like hers. It'll look like you. Your skills, your schedule, your version of enough. But if you're wondering whether you can build something of your own while raising small humans, the answer is already inside you. You just need permission to start imperfectly. Tell us what part of her story resonated with you most and where you're watching from. Your journey might just inspire the next one. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.